in terms of baking, there's one thing you must remember. This is the principle. Yeah, principle. When the sugar level is low, your temperature must be high. So your sugar high, your temperature must be low. So when your sugar is low, say 0 to 2%, your temperature can be 240 down to 220. So when your sugar is very high, let's say 20 to 25%, so your temperature may be 20 to 25. 20 to 25. So maybe it's 180 down to 200. Yeah, this is your principle. First principle you must remember. Why? Because sugar is the caramelization agent. Now, number two is you must remember will be your dough weight. Because in baking only, in the baking stage only, most of you will like to ask two questions. What temperature? How long to bake? Normally you ask. So now you don't have to worry how to set the temperature. You just need to understand and calculate the amount of sugar you had. Then you roughly set the temperature. Even now, if you ask me, so what temperature you want to bake? I will ask you to check the sugar content. I will ask you, check the sugar content, let me know the sugar content, or 10% of 200. Yeah. Then the second principle is the dough size. Because the dough size is the one who decides the time. Temperature is decided by the amount of sugar in your recipes, but the time, is depend on the dough. It's just like when your dough is small, so your time is less. When your dough is big, your time is long. So I give you an example. Let's say your dough 60 gram. How many minutes you want to bake? Approximately 10 to 12 minutes. If your dough is 500 grams, approximately time is 30 to 35 minutes. Now, why I use 60 and 500? Because these two dough size is very widely used in our country. Although I didn't write 200. Now, this 60 gram, 10 to 12 minutes can only happen if you really follow this one, If you don't follow this one, it cannot happen. So let's say you make the sweet bun. You didn't follow. You make the sweet bun. A lot of sugar. You go and put very high temperature. Your sweet bun is this one. You must follow this temperature. Then this one will happen. So if you make lean dough, right? No sugar, right? You must shoot up the temperature, then this thing will happen. Let's say you are here, you go and set this temperature, that one, the second principle cannot happen. 它第二个原则它是一环扣着一环的，它是 synchronized. They are together. They cannot stay as alone. So this one you understand. So now I have one question. I never write 200. If I never write 200 or I never write 700, what does this mean to you is when you bake 700 gram dough, you must bake more than 35. Alright now?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so if 30 gram, you must bake less than 10. That is what we are trying to tell you. So, all this will only happen, your inside dough temperature is something like this. So, this will happen. Okay, the very last one I want to share with you is the top heat and the bottom heat. So they are all together, one set run. So let's say your dough is very small. Correct? Your dough is very small. Then your temperature must be very high. Why? Your dough small temperature must be high. Because when you fry the small fish, normally you increase temperature a little bit. 你在煎小鱼的时候，你温度要高一点的，大鱼不可以吗？大鱼温度一定要少一点。Big fish, you should lower down the temperature. So what happened? Big fish, your temperature must be low now. So your time must be what? Must be longer. This one must be shorter. Correct now? Correct? Can understand, right? Then your top heat and your bottom heat. Okay. Top heat, small break. Top heat must be strong. bottom heat must be low. Big bread, top heat must be low, bottom heat must be strong. Why I write like this is because if you look at this oven, and you look at this oven, if you are making a big bread, if you are making an open top big bread, correct now? This one is a small bun. This is a small bun. So the bottom must be strong. Why? Because they need to brown the wheat and the bottom. But this one is different. This one bottom is very, very small, so it doesn't need. And then if you look at this small bun, they are very small. Give me more heat, give me more heat. But if your bread is very big, you doesn't need the top heat so much because they will burn. But you need a lot of bottom heat, not only to cook the surface, the bottom, and also cook the wheat side of the bread, so the bread can stand straight. So this is the third principle, which is very important. You must not forget. So when you set your temperature, you are very comfortable. Yeah. Yeah.
We have a problem. Our
No.
is one
No,
temperature.
for your Euro 4 oven, you don't have to proceed to here. You just use this one. Why? Because your fan oven can help you to even out the temperature. What you need to do is just you may want to turn the tray a little bit. Yeah, so this is the principle. I think it's very important. So today I'm very happy. Why? Because I share with you about the formulation. Because actually to understand this part, you have to understand this part. That's why most of the time when this type of question being asked, then somebody else will say, oh, it depends on the situation. It's not depends. Nothing is depends. It's all, you must have the base, you must have a very strong figure to support why you set 240. That's why I always share with students. I say, why I set 240 is because there's no sugar inside. Can I set 250? Can. 260? Can. No problem. Yeah. It won't burn so much. It won't burn so much. So if I know the sugar content is 20%, you think I want to set 220? No, of course. You put inside 3 minutes, start burns already. Alright now, yeah. And then now it depends on the big bread and the small bread. The same dough. Now, the same dough. This one I'm talking about square and round bread. I'm not talking about pizza. Although you have this 500, now you roll to pizza already. It's different story already now. It becomes small bread already now. Now I got 60 gram, but you join them, you make the batch bun, like 4 pieces together. It has different story already, no? Let's say you got 6, 6 times 6 is 360 gram. This become big bread already, no? This one cannot happen in 10 minutes already. It must be happen in between 12 minutes to 30 minutes already because you join them together 嘛。当你做排包，你把它粘在一起，它变成一个大包，它不是小包。In here, I'm talking about individual buns sit on the tray. They never stick to each other.
Or never stick.
Never stick.
And Hokkaido bread.
Yeah, Hokkaido is big bread already. Well, you stick all together, so it should behave like that already. So this one, what are we talking about? Is like that. The bread is like that, like that, like that, like that. So if your tray is so big, you can put 6 pieces. 10 minutes is okay. But because I didn't explain to you, you say I want to make batch bun, like the one I buy from the bakeries. I put like that. Like that is different story. This one 60 gram, no issue. This one is 360. This one no more longer 60. It should behave like a big. So same to this case also. Now you make 500 gram here, but now because you want to make pizza, right? So you take the tray, you roll up a bit like that because very thin already. Now your pizza, how long you want to bake? This one 10 minutes only. Because you roll them until so thin already, of course they will cook fast. Same like your vegetable, you put the whole piece. Sometimes we want to pou tong. You put the whole piece, you have to do 1 day. Yeah, then you cut the small piece, it's different already. Okay? Yeah. Okay, so any other question? Yeah, this part is a very interesting part. Then you just keep in mind, so you can ask me question later. Okay?
Then should you bake on the middle rack or the lower rack?
Yeah, lower rack and middle rack. I will always suggest you to bake somewhere close to the blower because that area is the most most stronger heat. Yeah. So if you don't want very strong heat, you are away from the blower. Let's say your blower, normally your blower is like that. Your oven is like that, right? If your blower is here, if you bake here, they have a very little bottom heat, a bit of top heat. So if you put here, you have very strong top heat, less bottom heat. If you put in the middle, the bottom heat and the top heat is strong. If you put here, top heat less, bottom heat is very strong. So long you understand this principle, then you can bake.
So middle, bottom will be up.
Yeah. So it depends what you want to bake now. No? Yeah. If you bake, for most of the time, I suggest you to put in the middle. Your bread must be in the middle. Most of the time, you are very safe. You are very safe. So if, like yesterday, I baked the cookies in this tray, this oven. I baked three tray. They told me the center tray cook first, then followed by the bottom one, then followed by the top one. Then I tell them, in that case more easier. After the center tray cook already take out, the top tray you move to the bottom tray you move to the top. Then you bake another 10 minutes. Then everything will even out. Yeah. Okay.